Hey guys, Short Midget here. So look what I get to do a review on. So this is the ever-loved KRYTAC Vector. It seems like almost everyone that I talk to really likes the gun and really was looking forward to it coming out. This was a pre-order from my brother, so he did get to pre-order it, so it did come with 2 mid-caps. I believe if you buy this now, it's just going to be 1, but if you pre-ordered it, you got 2, from what my brother told me. So unfortunately I have a massive headache, so I'm just going to be sitting down for this video. Alright, so man, where do I start on this thing? Let's just start on the back. So of course it's got a Vector folding stock. Now the look on the stock's a little bit different from the KWA gas blowback one. My brother had the KWA gas blowback one, oh gosh, probably 4 or 5 years ago. I actually really like that gun. I shot it a few times. I probably shot like 4 or 5 mags out of it, and it shot very, very well. But they have a reputation for breaking and having issues, of course, like really any gas blowback, unfortunately. It does have a sling loop on the bottom here, so it is ambi, so you could use that. It is metal, so it should hold up. The threads in there, I assume, are going to be metal as well. The stock itself is plastic, but still, it's a pretty high-dense, high-quality polymer. It does say KRYTAC right there. It's got a V logo on the top. It is folding. So you push the button in, a plastic latch, but the body over here is very, very thick. I don't see you breaking that. Maybe breaking the latch, but it's still a high-density polymer, so I don't see you really breaking that very easily. The stock itself locks into position. I would never play with it like this. I think that's kind of dumb, but I guess you could if you really wanted to. It unfolds. It latches onto the receiver, so it's tight. So it's not just basically like press fit or spring locked. It actually locks on this tab there, and then you can lock it back into place like I have here. It comes with these flip-up sights. They are actually Defiance licensed. It says Defiance on it, or Defiance logo, not really licensed. I don't know if that's the correct term. It doesn't really matter to me. They're polymer. They're okay. You know, I definitely use them out of the box. I wouldn't see a need to replace them unless you know, if you want an optic, you know, grab yourself an optic, whatever floats your boat. The rail on the top is metal. The whole body's plastic. This whole thing is just polymer. As far as how dense it is, it's pretty nice. I can't flex the mag well or anything. I can't like squeeze it and it doesn't flex at all. It's very high quality plastic. So this is the safety right here. Up is on safe, down is fire. When you see that red bullet, it's going to be fire. It's on both sides there. Now when you put it up into safe, it actually releases the spring tension, which is pretty good for the overall longevity of your gearbox, mainly your spring. The selector switch is up here. You got semi, 2-round burst, and full auto. It's ambidextrous, just like the safety over here. Now I will mention, if you're using a high power 11.1, sometimes you'll get like 3-round burst. Doesn't matter to me, it still bursts as long as it's not 4. I would be fine with 2 or 3-round burst if it was me. Some people were probably pretty picky. Oh, I want the 2-round burst, and they'll use a 7.4. This gun doesn't run very well in a 7.4, I'll be honest. Please use an 11.1 to get the best performance. It's got the B logo there. It's got Made in Taiwan there. KRYTAC officially licensed product. Sorry, KRYTAC officially licensed products, what that says. Serial number there. Fake bolt lock, it doesn't do anything. Charging handle here does open up the dust cover, or like window for the hop-up, whatever you want to call it. So when you pull it back, it just flips up. It's like spring tension, so it'll stay up. In order to push it down, you have to push it down with your finger. It's easy to get up and down. There's like a lip on it. Super easy to do, or you can, you know, do it with the charging handle. You don't have to hold it back or anything. You can adjust it like that. So that's a neat feature. You don't have to keep holding it back or anything. The charging handle is metal. The fake bolt's metal. The magazine catch is not ambidextrous, unfortunately. It's on the one side. So when you put a mag in, I don't know, it's maybe a little awkward to get used to, but I'm sure you could get proficient at reloading quickly. It has a bottom rail, which is metal. It's got a rail on the right side, which is metal as well. You can put on the left. They don't give you, you know, both sides. It's up to you to put whatever on there you want. You can flip it, whatever floats your boat. Again, it's pretty versatile. On On the front here, my brother put a VFC amplifier. I don't know if it actually makes it louder. I'll probably take it off and test it. But it actually looks pretty good in my opinion. I like the look of it. That's pretty much everything for the externals. The battery goes inside of the pistol grip here. It reminds me of the gas blowback or the real Magpul grips. You pull this little lever back, pull that cap off. It is Tamiya, which, you know, is fine. That's what most guns come with. The battery space is limited. Unfortunately, if you're going to use any 11.1, it has to be a 1000 milliamp. This is a 1300. It's a 25 to 50C. So this is a high discharge 11.1. And I'll show you that even the trigger response and the rate of fire is not that good with it, unfortunately. Kind of left me to, you know, desire more in this gun as far as performance. Of course, it is use standard gears. I'm curious to see if it'll take standard SHS gears, or Siege Tech or anything. Because with their CRBs, with the SBRs, with all the other KRYTAC M4s, in order to fit SHS gears or Siege Tech gears or anything like that, you have to modify the gearbox shell like crazy. I really hope they didn't have that with this. If they don't, then that's nice, because you could just run the stock motor, throw some 13-to-1s or 12-to-1s in here, even Siege Tech 10-to-1s, a new piston, maybe new piston heads, you know, possibly Sorbo, just whatever floats your boat, maybe a different spring. I'm not a huge fan of the Vector, so I wouldn't want to have spent, you know, $450 on this and then spend probably another $200 on upgrades. I wouldn't do that. It's not for me. As far as this, I think my brother should keep it. I don't think he should sell it. This should be his CQB gun, his main CQB gun. In fact, he doesn't have a CQB gun. He only has an outdoor gun. So he should keep this, sell his other guns besides the gun that I built him. His M4 shoots 400 FPS. It's got a BTC. Nice as heck. Good for outdoor. This is good for indoor. Maybe he can keep, you know, a high Kappa. But all his other guns he should sell, including his Sistema, because, you know, it is broken. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Again, the internals are left me a little bit to desire. As far as the QD spring system, you pop this one pin out, which actually has a sticker on it, a QC sticker, which stands for quality control. Some people were concerned about like cheating with this, pretty much popping out a pin and putting a different spring in here. I think they make a turning lock for it, or you can put a zip tie through the standard one. It doesn't look like it's hollow to me, so I think they make a different pin that wraps around or something. I thought I saw something about that. As far as the other internals, it's got a KRYTAC hop-up. It's standard, honestly. I think it uses a standard KRYTAC CRB and SBR hop-up. It's got the number wheel. The wheel is actually gray, which I actually really, really like. It's easier to see in contrast to the black body. I do like that a lot. It's numbered, of course, and it clicks into place. I assume it's got the standard KRYTAC bucking, you know, standard KRYTAC whatever diameter barrel. It shoots pretty good as far as accuracy and range. That's one good thing about the KRYTACs. They shoot pretty dang far. It uses, I think it's just the 30K motor. In fact, you can see the motor through this gap here. So it's got the 30K KRYTAC motor. I don't know what spring rating is in here. It shoots like 350. We'll chrono it. But it shoots around there, so probably M100, maybe M110 with bad compression. It's hard to say, honestly. As far as the gears, they're stock. I really hope it's the sector gear with the bigger sector cam like the new KRYTACs are coming with, or at least the Mark IIs are. I would assume that they put that in here just to get better feeding, because you know some people use heavy BBs. Some players will use 3s, 3.2s, and most guns that they use. I don't like using heavy BBs. I use 2s, 2.5s. In really all my guns. If I were to do a DMR, I'd go up to 3s, but a lot of people do DMRs with like 3.6s. I just don't like the whole super heavy BB thing, because your BB takes forever to get out there, and it's just, I don't like that. I like my BB getting out there quick, and so if I'm using 2s, 2.5s, even at a low FPS, my BB's sailing out there quick. The issue with lighter BBs is when wind. If it's not really windy, then I will have no issues hitting people from 200 feet away with most of my guns, with 2s and 2.5s. If you have a proper, you know, good hop-up bucking, you should be able to do that. Again, battery storage, it's pretty dang bad. I would use 11.1s. This is a 7.4. We will test it. It's a 1200, 25 to 50C, so this is a higher C7.4 too, and it's not going to work that good, I'll tell you that. As far as the magazines, they seem pretty solid. There's no like major seam lines where they could crack. It's actually very well built. It says 45 ACP, Chris Vector V. It's got the magazine, the bullet count for the magazine. And I think it holds about 100 rounds, roughly. Alright, so let's chrono it with .2s. Okay. 336, 343, 340, 340, 340, 342, 335, 339, 332, 337. It's right over 1 joule. It's But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this really long video. If you have any questions, go ahead and let me. Alright, so let's go ahead and shoot it over here. I'm really disappointed that the battery storage is kind of crappy. Because this battery is probably just going to fall out. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it hanging, honestly. I'm just going to leave it hanging. Alright, so it is the 11.1, 25 to 50C, loaded up with .2s. Now, this is my first time actually behind the gun shooting it. With the .2s, I'd say it's going 160 feet. So I'd say it along the lines of your stock CRB, really. It's very similar. Okay. Whew. The trigger pull. That is something to be desired about this gun. There really should have been an electronic MOSFET in this gun. An ECU, something with active braking, a micro switch, a cycle completion gearbox, or MOSFET. It should have been in here. What this is using is like a mixture. It has basically like your standard MOSFET. So it's like your standard KRYTAC MOSFET and your CRBs. It protects the trigger contacts, blah blah blah, protects the micro switch, whatever. It has a tactile button. So it's like a button. In fact, I'll take the battery out and you should be able to hear it. Okay, it clicks like a micro switch. It feels like an Aries micro switch, but it doesn't make a full cycle. It does not, and I'll show you. It really sucks. Unfortunately, for $450, this gun should have had that. It should have. Unfortunately, it doesn't have that, though. It does have a standard MOSFET, though, so it does protect your trigger contacts, and it is going to get a little bit, it's a shorter pull. Don't get me wrong. The trigger pull is short as heck, but you're not going to get the trigger response or the spam ability of like an Aries MOSFET or a BTC or a Titan or whatever. You're not going to get the ability. You can't, and I'll show you that right now. See that? It just, like, you have to hold the trigger down and hold it until it makes a full cycle, okay? Which is really unfortunate, but it still, you know, it shoots great. It really does. Mag's out. Alright, let's go ahead and shoot first person with the second mag. So, not too bad. Let's do 2-round burst. Alright, it is shooting 2-round bursts. So on this specific model, even on a fully charged 25 to 50C, it is only shooting 2 rounds, not 3. I have heard reports of, you know, it was shooting 3 or 4 rounds with a high discharge 11.1. This is the highest you really want to use for a stock gun, and it's, you know, running fine on 2-round bursts, and it is fully charged. And that's consistent 2 rounds, so. Alright, so, yeah, pretty good. Alright, so let's go ahead and shoot some full auto. Alright, so here it is with a 7.4. Yeah, see, told you. You have to shoot at a very slow pace. Yeah, please use an 11.1. about 160 feet. Still doing a consistent 2-round burst, which is nice. Now, I'm not going to say anything stupid like, oh, I prefer a 2-round burst over a 3-round burst so you don't overshoot your opponent. Forget it. Bye, Felicia. Alright, so a recap on this John. So basically it shoots about 330 to 345 FPS with a 0.2 gram BB out of the box. Apparently they're supposed to come 2 different versions, 400 FPS and 350. I assume this is probably the 350. If it is, it's a little bit lower. It's not easy to mass produce guns that shoot exactly 350, because it just depends on the guns. And these guns are not fine-tuned as much as you like to think they are. They're not fine-tuned. When they're put together in the factory, they're just not. So you can't get, they don't. It's not like they test the compression perfectly to see if they're all shooting 350 or whatever. Overall, it's a pretty cool gun. As far as the feel on it, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it. I will say it is pretty natural when you point it. When you're just going to shoot somebody. Let's just say you're going to shoot somebody, the sights come right up to my eye. It doesn't feel like it would. It does not feel like it. When I shoulder, it feels like I'm angling it. It feels like I'm angling the gun weird, but it's not. I'm angling it straight up to my eye. And so, it does seem to shoulder well, and feel good. Of course, it's airsoft, so you don't even need frickin' sights. You just aim. That's how I play. I just watch my BBs. So, but overall, just in terms of just handling the gun and feeling it, I will say that it seems to point very well, even though it doesn't feel like it, at least to me. The magazines do drop free. How do I test this without dropping it on the frickin' ground? There we go. Yeah, so it does drop free. You hit the button, it drops. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions about this gun or anything else, go ahead and put it in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in the next video.